Welcome, students. Today's lesson is about combining like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variable and exponent. For example, 2x squared and 4x squared. Notice they have the exact same exponent connected to the exact same term. An example that would not work would be 2x and 3x squared. These are not like terms and cannot be combined because they have different exponents. We are allowed to combine like terms if they have the same variable and the same power or exponent. Our steps to do this, we're going to start by drawing shapes around our like terms. Then we'll add and subtract them. Our final answer should contain only one term of each kind. Let's try an example. I'm going to identify all of my like terms, so I'll start with my first term, 10x, and put a circle around it. Any term that I see that matches this, I will also put a circle around. Negative 4x has the same variable and the same exponent, so does 3x. Now, I have to consider 10x's minus 4x's, which would give me 6x, plus 3x. If I look at 6 plus 3, I know that I'll have 9 total x's. So my final answer would just be 9x. This one is going to be a little bit trickier because we have x's and y's. My first term is 13y, so I'll put a circle around it, and then I'm going to go through and I'll look for any term that also has the same variable and exponent. Negative 3y has my same variable of y and my exponent of 1. So that would be a like term. Then I see that my last term is positive 2x, so I'll circle it and leave it alone for now. Now, first I want to deal with 13y minus 3y. 13 minus 3 gives me 10, so I have 10 y's total. Now if I look at my 2x, I don't have anything to combine it with, so I would get a final answer of 2x plus 10y. This would also be true if I had said 10y plus 2x. Remember that addition is commutative, so order will not matter to me. I want you to pause the video and try this next one on your own. When you're ready, unpause and check. I would start by identifying all of my x terms. These have the same variable and the same power. So 21x plus 12x will simplify down to be 33x. Now I'll look at my y's. It's important that as I circle, I also get that negative sign. So I have negative 3y minus 7y, which will give me a total of negative 10y. So my simplified answer would be 33x minus 10y. Now I'm going to see that I have different powers going on, so I'm going to be extra careful as I identify my like terms. 2x squared can only go with x squared terms, so I see that that will also match up with negative 4x squared, and I want to make sure I get that negative. As I go through, I don't see anything else to the second power, so I'll move on to my next like terms. 3y will also match up with negative 5y. And lastly, 3x will be on its own. Now I'm going to start by simplifying my x squared terms. 2x squared minus 4x squared will simplify and give me negative 2x squared. And I know that because 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Now I'll move on to my triangle terms. So 3y minus 5y. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, so negative 2y is my answer. And 3x can't simplify any further. So my final answer would be negative 2x squared minus 2y plus 3x. Again, if you wrote this in a different order, that's perfectly fine. You just have to make sure that you have the correct sign in front. I want you to pause the video and try this one on your own. I would start by identifying my first term, negative 5y cubed, and I'd look for any other y cubed terms. I see that there's one right here, so I'll circle it, and I know that those have to be combined. Now as I move on, I get positive 6y. I'll look for anything that can combine with, and I see that there is a negative 8y right here. And moving on to my very last term, negative 4y squared can combine with positive 9y squared. Now I just have to add or subtract my coefficient, or my front term. So negative 5y cubed plus 10y cubed is really just negative 5 plus 10, which will give me a positive 5, and y cubed will come along. Going to my y terms, positive 6y minus 8y will give me negative 2y. And moving on to my y squared terms, negative 4y squared plus 9y squared will give me 5y squared, which gives me a final answer of 5y cubed minus 2y plus 5y squared. Again, order doesn't matter. We could have had them written in any arrangement as long as their signs are true. On this next one, I'll start by identifying my first term. If I put a box around negative 23y, I'll look for any other y term. I see that I have a positive 50y that I'll be able to combine with it. I'll move on to my x's, which I'll put a circle around, so positive 4x, and I see positive 4x down here. Then I notice that I have negative 7x squared, which I can put a triangle around, but I have to make sure I remember that's negative, and negative 8x squared. Now I'll start combining. Negative 23y combines with positive 50y, and 50 minus 23 will give me 27. Move on to my orange terms. Positive 4x plus 4x will give me 8x. And now I'll move on to my triangles. Negative 7x squared minus 8x squared gives me negative 15x squared. So for my final answer, I have 27y plus 8x minus 15x squared. Thanks for watching.